A disorganized Canva account doesn't just slow you down and make it harder to create content, it also limits what Canva's AI tools can actually do for you. But Claude can now help you fix that. And I'm going to show you how to go from digital clutter to everything organized in just 5 simple steps. And stick around until the end because I'm going to show you the one 10-second habit that means you will never have to do a big cleanup like this in your Canva account ever again. Organization is genuinely foundational to using Canva well like a professional. It's a core part of my Canva OS course for that exact reason. And in this video, which is the first in a series of videos on using Claude and Canva together, I'm going to help you create a system that's not just more intuitive to use, but easier to maintain. First, a quick bit on setup, in case you haven't connected Canva and Claude yet. So in Claude, head to Settings and then Connectors, or you can just hit the little plus icon in your chat and look for connectors there. Just search for Canva and click Connect. Then you'll have to log into your Canva account and approve access. And that's pretty much it. It walks you through step by step. Now, just a quick note, this Canva connector is available on every Claude plan, including the free plan. So you don't need to be on anything fancy to get started. And on the Canva side, you just need an active Canva account, so whatever plan you're already on. Okay, before we start the actual organizing process, it's worth being aware of what Claude can and can't do for you inside Canva. Once it's connected, Claude can search through your designs and your folders. It can read what's in them, it can create new folders, it can move things into folders, it can check your brand kits and your brand templates, it can generate and edit designs, and it can export files. What it can't do is delete anything. So if you've got a pile of duplicate templates, Claude will find them and list them for you or put them in a folder, but the actual deleting still has to be actioned by you in Canva itself. It's just worth knowing that up front, and it's a good safety feature. Now, let's get started with our Canva condo. So for the first thing, we're just going to ask Claude something like, give me a snapshot of my entire Canva account. It'll then pull your top-level folders, anything sitting loose and unfiled, your brand kits and your brand templates, and it will list it all out for you to see. Now here's why we do this. Most of us have no idea how messy our account actually is, or even what's in there, until we see it listed out like this. You'll probably spot screen recordings you forgot to delete and 5 copy-of versions of the same template, or new brand kit, which is one that you made once and never renamed. It's totally normal, by the way. Canva accounts get messy the same way that desktops and inboxes do. But you've got to be able to see it to be able to sort it. Oh, and for this whole process, if like me you find typing a little tricky, just click the little microphone icon on the Claude chat bar and just speak to it. One of the things AI is actually really brilliant at is taking a whole brain dump of information and pulling out the key points and actions. I actually use a brilliant tool on my computer called WhisperFlow, which is absolutely fantastic at voice recognition and dictation. And it also learns your language, your style, and your business the more that you use it. I'll link to that in the description if you fancy giving it a go. But a snapshot on its own isn't enough. And that's actually the mistake that most people make here. So let's get to fixing that. Now, if you just ask Claude to tidy this up, you'll get something sensible looking like folders for brand, marketing, clients, archive, which is absolutely fine, but it's pretty generic because that's what AI does. The better move here is to ask Claude to interview you first. So say something like, before you suggest a structure, ask me some questions about how my business works, how I use Canva, and how I think, so that the structure actually fits the things I do. And you can always tell Claude you'd like to add more info if you feel it doesn't cover everything that you think is important. A few questions worth answering or making sure is answered to make this work well is, do you work solo or does anyone else touch your account? Are you designing mostly for yourself or for clients? Do you prefer to organize by date or platform or product? What do you create the most of in Canva? And also, what's your biggest struggle with organizing your account right now? Once Claude's got those answers, it can then suggest a structure that matches how your brain and your business already work, instead of a structure that you have to work around. A coach with a team and just a handful of clients is going to need a completely different setup to a solopreneur running a digital template shop with 50 products. So, Snapshot first, because it shows you the reality. Interview second, because it shapes that reality into something that fits you. And I really can't stress this enough. Do not skip these first two tasks, because they make all the difference to the rest of the process. Once you've agreed a structure, just ask Claude to create those folders, and then ask it to move all your loose, unfiled designs into the right folders based on titles and content, or even tags if you've used them, as I show you inside Canva OS. If anything's not clear, ask Claude to put it into a temporary unsorted or inbox folder, rather than guessing, so everything that needs a second look just ends up in one place, and you can work through that later when you have some time. This reorganizing and moving is the bit that could normally take you a whole evening of dragging and dropping files and folders around. Claude can work through it in minutes once the structure is agreed. Now, before the final two tasks, if this series sounds useful, please make sure that you're subscribed to the channel so that you don't miss the rest of it, because we've got more videos on Claude and Canva coming up. And if you want more tips like this, I have a newsletter called Meaningful Creations, where I share design tips and resources, insights, and the real human stuff that I don't post anywhere else. The link is in the description or on the screen right now if you would like to join over 10,000 amazing humans who get my email every single week. Okay, so back to our process, because the final task is the one that has the real impact. For the fourth task, ask Claude to review your brand kits and your brand templates and list and flag anything that looks like a duplicate, a leftover test, or has an obvious placeholder name like new brand kit. It will give you a clear checklist so you can then go into Canva and clean those up in just a couple of minutes, rather than scrolling through dozens trying to remember which ones are actually live or have content. And just FYI, Claude can't see or change things like the actual colors or fonts or logos inside a brand kit, at the moment anyway. But it can see which designs use which brand kit. So if that's a helpful list to have, ask it to produce that list for you. Once your structure exists, you don't need to redo this process every single time. Keeping your Canva setup organized is just as, if not more important, than getting it organized. We actually go deeper on this inside Canva OS, but as a quick win, every time you finish a new design, or maybe once a week, just ask Claude to file it into the right folder in your structure. And if you're comfortable using scheduled tasks in Claude, you could literally just ask Claude to do a tidy up every Sunday night at 8 p.m. while you watch your guilty pleasure. Little and often keeps things under control, instead of you facing the same cleanup job again in 6 months' time. And that's it. 5 really simple tasks to get your Canva account properly organized just by chatting with Claude, without spending your whole weekend on it or getting overwhelmed. And that's the real beauty of this. It's structured around how you actually work, which is why it's more likely to stick. Now, in the next video in this series, we'll get into using Claude and Canva together to actually create content for you. So make sure you subscribe to the channel to get that one coming up soon. And if you found this helpful, I have one small favor to ask. Could you please share this video or my channel link with just one person you think might find it helpful? It will only take a few seconds, and honestly, it would really mean a lot to me. That's it, you lovely people. Please have a fabulous week, keep spreading the joy, and I will see you in the next one.